welcome everyone. I'm Swati Gupta and I'm so excited to have you all here in today's insightful live session on the topic that impacts all of us and especially as parents, that is decoding energy and emotional balance in parents. We all know how challenging it is to manage ups and downs of parenthood while trying to keep ourselves grounded both emotionally and energetically. So today we have an incredible guest, Devina Rao, an energy manifestation coach who is just 17 years old, and she's done some amazing job in helping parents understand balance their energy and emotions for a more peaceful and fulfilling family life. She's helped countless parents realign their energy and break through emotional blocks and find harmony in the chaos of their life. In this session, we'll dive deep into understanding how an emotional state affects our energy, how that energy ripples through to our families, and practical ways to stay emotionally and energy balanced. Whether you're a mom juggling with multiple responsibilities or a dad wanting to be more present and centered, you will walk with this session with those tools. So get your pens and papers so that you can take loads of notes from Devina. So thank you so much, Devina, for joining in our session. And thank you for accepting the invite. It certainly means a lot.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm super excited to share all of these small value nuggets that I'm sure everyone's gonna love.
Absolutely, I don't doubt it. I have a set of few questions for you, which I thought that our audience would love to hear it. So, if you
Mhm.
don't mind, can I share those questions so that you can answer them for us?
Absolutely, let's get started.
Awesome. So, first question is, how can parents identify and break free from the emotional patterns that keep them stuck in a low energy state?
So, the thing with emotional patterns is that when you feel like you just give yourself a vague overlook, you feel like there's not much there because you're always running on autopilot with your
Huh.
emotional patterns. Once you take in the wheel, which is called mindfulness, once you
Right.
start focusing on what emotional patterns there are in you, you'll see that the road you were going through was a little bumpy. And
Hmm.
when you fix those emotional patterns, you feel like you're going on this highway. Now,
Right.
the thing with these emotional patterns are most of the bumps that we feel on the road, those are not ours. So our emotional patterns are not something, most of them are not something that comes from within us.
Hmm.
They're
Hmm.
usually instilled by other people. Like, let's say if you're a parent and you feel um, like you feel like you're worrying about your child too much, that okay, why isn't
Hmm.
my child
Hmm.
like excelling in
Right.
extracurricular activities like everyone else's kid is?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's coming from your outer circle, like because you're observing other stuff, and
Hmm.
then subconsciously you're choosing to focus on that. In
Right.
that way, you're building this emotional pattern of worry and guilt and like so many more emotions, and then
Hmm.
you just keep on spiraling in that.
Right.
So how we
Absolutely.
identify these are just to like get into that mindfulness zone and to
Hmm.
figure out which of the patterns are instilled by other people and which of the patterns are local to myself, like the
Hmm.
patterns that I've made.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. I so liked it because honestly, whenever I'm upset or whenever I'm emotionally unsettled, that's
Mhm.
mostly because either it's the household or it is something to do with my children, or I'm not able to create that balance between the work as well as the children. So it's never just me, but it's a culmination of things around me or people around me. So yes, you're absolutely right. That's a bigger reason is when we are stuck with our low energy. So
Right.
that was to our next question. So
Mhm.
how do these emotions like guilt or worry affect a parent's energy, and how can they shift out these emotional states?
So usually when we get into a situation of these disempowering emotions, I'll call them disempowering and not negative, and I'll
Okay.
explain that in a while why.
Hmm.
So these disempowering emotions, once you start thinking upon them or once you start feeling them, Like,
Hmm.
okay, let's say you might be feeling like I'm not able to give my child more time, I'm not able to help with homework, or like a mother has like numerous amounts of worries.
Huh.
And I've personally seen that with my clients and my mother as well.
Hmm.
So the more you think upon those feelings, the more you feel those feelings that
Hmm.
I'm doing this or that. Now I'll add this nugget of manifestation here. Manifestation is the sum of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your actions.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you're putting in three of those things onto that one spot, like
Right.
if you're thinking that, okay, I feel a little guilty, or if you're feeling that without even telling anyone, you just have that slight feeling inside of you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this way, you're just watering that specific feeling.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So this is one key rule in manifestation. You do not think about what you don't want.
Right.
So the
Right.
more you think about it, the more you feel it, it's only gonna grow and you're gonna start attracting those situations again.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if
Hmm.
someday you feel like you were a little, like if you were feeling a little guilty about not being with your kid, that exact situation will happen again only because you were focusing on that.
Thinking about it. Yeah. Right. Right.
Like
Right.
if you water a plant, it's obviously gonna grow.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
instead, if we focus on the positive side of it,
Hmm. Hmm.
how
Hmm.
can we change it? If we like contemplate upon that situation, we can figure out a solution. Like let's say
Hmm.
you, the solution for that would be better time management or just more understanding or emotional bonding with your child.
Right.
You
Right.
start focusing on those parts.
Correct.
Even
Correct.
if that does not exist now, you're watering it with those energy
Correct.
and emotions. So
Correct.
even if it isn't there, it will start to come into your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I always tell this, like I just while you saying this, I could only think of our brain are the biggest mathematicians. Just like in mathematics, you when you practice more, that's what you learn more and understand more. Similarly, that's what same happens with our brain. Because we've said it to ourselves so many times, so our brain has actually remembered and memorized those negative thoughts or negative patterns, because of which it is growing on those things. Maybe it's not
Absolutely,
happening
yes.
now, but obviously we have thought about it and it's in our brain for so many times. Now it's become
Right.
a habit.
Yeah, so the more you think about it, the more it gets ingrained. So even when you're not thinking, it is subconsciously happening in the back of your brain. And then
Correct.
you're just attracting those experiences again, and then you're like, where am I going wrong in manifestation?
Correct. Correct. I love this. I love this. So, can really diet and physical activity influence the emotional balance and energy levels for parents?
It
And if so,
absolutely
how?
can. It absolutely can.
Okay, is it?
So when now if I'm talking specifically about emotions and especially with mothers, so what I've seen with my mother clients and even my own mom,
Hmm.
they don't open up really well. Like you
Hmm.
can't just figure out what's going on with them. So they're storing those emotions in their body. And
Right.
if you're storing those emotions in your emotional plane, like in your emotional energy, or it soon like gets into your mental stress, that's where
Hmm.
like you'll get a headache or something, and then it will start reflecting in your physical body. If
Right.
you hold on to something too much, or if you're storing that in yourself,
Hmm. Hmm.
that's why like once you like go to the gym or like practice something or even like add changes to your diet, you're suddenly gonna feel like you're letting out some sort of energy.
Ah,
Like,
ah.
this is something I observed. So me and my mom started going to the gym, and
Huh.
then we realized that how much happier we used to feel after that.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
any sort of stored up energy, like you're just focusing on that movement.
Right, right.
Absolutely, yes.
Wow,
And in
wow.
terms of diet, it's like whatever we've heard this when we were kids, like "Jaisa khai an vaisa hoy man."
Ha, correct, correct. That is true also. That is very true. And that's why our mood hormones are also related to that. Like your
Yeah,
oxytocin is
right,
higher because of that. Your dopamine is high when you're exercising. Your serotonin is high. Your endorphins are high when you're exercising. So,
right,
I mean,
absolutely.
scientifically also it makes sense.
It does, yes.
Wow, lovely, lovely. So, can mothers really manifest for their family and children, just not for themselves?
This is a question that's the most asked one, and I have to break it to you, but you can only manifest for yourself.
Okay.
And I'll explain why.
Hmm.
So even written a whole chapter about this in my book, just for
Wow.
mothers.
Mm-hmm.
That whenever I notice a mom praying, what she'll do is she'll pray for her kids, she'll pray for her husband, for her in-laws, for the entire family, and then at the end she might pray about her,
Ah,
and that's
beautiful.
even that's not sure,
Ah, correct. I've never remember I praying for myself. That is
right?
what I'm rethinking.
The thing is that every human
Oh,
has their own higher self or
hmm.
their aspect of God, right?
Right.
So
Right.
everyone has their own connection to the divine through which we manifest or like co-create our life.
Hmm.
Now, this
Hmm.
is the same example as, let's say I've lost the keys to my house.
Hmm.
Now
Hmm.
you can't possibly come up and like use your house's key to open my house. The only thing you can do is turn on the flashlight of your phone and help me look for the key in my
I
bag.
love it. Yes, absolutely.
So that's the same thing. So what I teach mothers is that you start focusing on your journey. And this is one thing. They might think that, okay, this is selfish if I start working for myself.
Ah.
I've noticed this with my mom. I've noticed this with so many clients that they'll feel like, okay, if I start working on myself, then मेरे बच्चों का कौन सोचेगा?
हाँ पहले खुद के बारे में सोच लो बच्चों के बारे में तो सोच ही लेंगे
हाँ, सो अगर आप अपने आप को फील उस कनेक्शन में लेके आ रहे हो, इफ यू आर इन दैट कनेक्शन विद द डिवाइन, यू आर ऑटोमेटिकली गोइंग टू एम्पावर एवरीवन अराउंड यू.
करेक्ट हाँ वेरी
Your
ट्रू
own aura, your own energy is going to be so strong that the people around you will get inspired
करेक्ट
and they'll start feeling that connection as well. They'll get inspired to build that connection.
Hmm. In fact, children are also seeing us now. If they see
Yeah.
that we are praying for ourselves, so in future probably they will also learn to understand about themselves,
Right.
pray for themselves before their children, so that they know this is
Absolutely.
important. I mean, this is not something which is asked for. This is something which is you should learn, and you can only teach them when you yourself model it.
Yes. And one more element I'd like to add here is that in manifestation, why
Mm-hmm.
you can't manifest for other people. So everyone on earth, like every human on earth, has been sent with their own free will. Like
And then
let's
with
say
their own
free will.
free will. Okay.
Like
Okay.
everyone can make their own choices and everything like
Correct.
that.
Correct.
Let's say if I want to go to a university,
Hmm.
I have one in mind and my mom has another one in mind. So even if she tries to manifest that, okay, I want my child to go into this university,
Ah.
but that only her higher self is gonna listen to that. But mine, which is accountable for my life, gonna listen to what I think.
Right.
So
Right.
the best way to manifest is to start your own manifestation journey, and this is
Hmm.
not selfish.
Hmm.
Most
Hmm.
mothers will think that this is selfish if I start thinking about myself and not my family. Not
Yeah.
selfish, it's your personal journey.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
once you start your personal journey, you're automatically empowering everyone around of you, and they're gonna be inspired to start manifesting for themselves again.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Wow. This is very powerful, Divna. This has opened my eyes. I have probably manifested for my children, but now I know I'm not going to manifest for my children. I'm going to manifest for myself so that that power needs to be within me
Yeah.
because it's for me. Absolutely.
You
So,
can manifest your connections with your family members. Like if you want to strengthen the bond with your children or with your husband or with your like family members, you
hmm,
can do that. Anything that is directly related to you.
hmm.
But anything specific in other people's lives, they have to do it for themselves.
Correct, correct, correct. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, why do manifestation rituals not work at times? Now,
Right.
why does it not work? I mean, I've heard with people saying that it did not work for me.
Mhm.
Or is it something it's about trust or why does that happen?
So a while back, I just shared this sum of manifestation that your thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and actions.
Hmm.
So the thing is, for manifestation, you have to balance all of these.
Okay.
Now, mostly what I've seen with people, and which is why I work on emotions, is that let's say we see this YouTube video on manifestation. Ki, okay, do this ritual, do write all of these affirmations and everything. You're doing it mechanically. If I just
Hmm.
think that, okay, I want to go this way, like let's say if I want to get into the specific university again,
Correct.
is it because I want to go there or is it because of some other reason? Like
Hmm.
the why behind your manifestation
Hmm.
should be
Hmm.
resonating with that.
Right.
You're connected, and once you're resonating with it, you're actually feeling your manifestation and you're living it in present tense.
Hmm. Hmm.
That is one place where people are just not able to click into. You
Right.
just feel like you're just then they'll you can fill up journals and diaries of affirmations, but as long as you're not actually connected deeply with your goal, with your mission, with whatever you want to manifest, then it's just of no use.
No use. Right. Right. Absolutely. So you feel that whatever we are writing, it is just should not be mechanical. It should be more thoughtful. It should
Right,
be more goal centric. It should your brain, your heart, your every all parts of body should think about it when
right.
you're writing.
Yeah, and you should resonate with whatever you're writing.
Hmm.
Like if let's say some person wants to like maintain their weight or something like that, they should resonate behind the purpose of that goal. That okay, I want to do it for myself. I'll
Hmm.
feel more confident. I'll feel more like better.
Hmm.
So once you've got a why, or unless if you feel like you're just doing it okay because other people told me to do so, then
Yeah.
it's gonna be of no
Not going
use.
to help you.
Yeah,
Huh. Huh. Absolutely. Matlab, it should go with your feelings. It should go with yourself. Like your vibe should attract your tribe. So it's something like that, wherein
absolutely.
your energy should match with what you are.
Right, right.
Lovely, lovely. I'll remember this. So, what is the best way to manifest outcomes regularly without rituals?
Okay, so this is the best gift you can ever give to yourself.
Hmm.
Instead of focusing on how you want to manifest one goal, and then another goal,
Hmm.
then you're making it into a cycle. Now, let's see where does this manifestation thing happen from? There is one single power that is ruling the entire universe.
Hmm.
You can call it God or you can call it some sort of scientific power or anything. But
Hmm.
everyone knows that there's one power there that is helping everything function.
Right.
Now, the thing here is that we just need to connect with that power. And how does
Okay.
that happen? I'll give you an example. This is something that I did very young in age, which is why I feel like I can manifest better. So, as small children, everyone always had this imaginary friend.
Hmm.
Like when
Hmm.
you're playing tea set or something and you're talking to this imaginary friend of
Ah,
yours, right?
ah, ah.
With that same feeling, you're just talking and you feel like there's no one there, but you have this imaginary friend.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
use the same method but connect it to something called the universe.
Ah, okay.
And the thing is, start building a connection with that universe as if it is your actual best friend.
Ah, lovely.
Not
Okay.
just to ask, okay, I want this now, I want that now. Just
Huh.
like conversations.
Hmm.
And initially, it might sound like, okay, this is you're just talking to yourself. Someone's gonna come in and say, कि ये तो पता नहीं किससे बात कर
Crazy. Huh.
रहे हैं."
Huh.
Right. But once you start the small, small conversations, and
Hmm.
usually if you make the topic of gratitude,
Huh.
and okay, today I had a great day. I was on live with Swati. We were talking and everything. I'm so grateful for that opportunity.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just some sort of inner dialogue that you're saying to thank.
Right.
And
Right.
eventually or sooner, you'll find out that the universe is responding to your talks. It
Hmm.
comes in signs. Like let's say I see, in terms of signs, I see butterflies or something
Wow.
that is very personal to you.
Right.
You start seeing more. So that is the universe's way of communicating with you.
Wow.
And once you build that sort of bond, that sort of connection,
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
you don't have to worry about, okay, this is goal number one, I need to manifest, this is goal number two or three or four.
It will fall in place
It will
automatically.
fall in place automatically, even if I recently read this. If something happens according to you, it is God's direction. If something is not happening according to you, it is God's
But
protection.
absolutely.
Right.
Because God is protecting you because that's something not for you.
Yeah,
And
so
then it is going to cause harm to your life.
we might just see a small piece of the puzzle and it won't make sense. But once you put it into a puzzle and you see the entire picture, then you'll realize, okay, okay, that specific situation was needed.
Absolutely. Lovely.
That's what made this whole picture complete.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, what are those some signs that parents are emotionally and energetically aligned, and how can they maintain that balance long term?
So, the first sign of being emotionally stable is you feel like you're grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And once you're grounded and you have that energy in you, you start to notice that the people around of you,
Hmm.
they'll let you know about the changes. Now, let's say if you feel you're emotionally grounded and if you have that energy in you, you
Hmm.
might feel like when you're somewhere and you're talking to someone, the other person will just start opening up to you.
Right.
So people will start feeling comfortable in your energy. Like sometimes you talk to someone and their energy is so stable and grounded that
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
if you were having
You
this
feel
sort
that
of,
connection.
yeah,
Hmm.
you start building that connection. So
Hmm.
their grounded energy is gonna make you feel at peace.
Wow. Yes.
And the part that I just shared, that once you start building that connection, once
Hmm.
you start like talking to your inner creator,
Hmm.
you're automatically gonna be feeling at ease.
Right.
Is the best way of emotional balance also because once you know that you have that friend that always listens to you,
Right.
you
Who's
never
not going
feel
to
like
judge you, who's not going to be judgmental on any time, who's
exactly
not going to make you feel miserable with whatever XYZ things.
right. So that's your safe space. Then if you have that safe space, you're not gonna be holding anything inside. You're not
Correct.
gonna be bottling up. You're
Yeah.
gonna feel more open and receptive. So once you
Hmm.
let out stuff, then only you're gonna be able to receive those positive, empowering energy.
Wow, wow. Lovely, lovely. I loved it. I loved it, every bit of it. It feels as if I have to take up notes. It was so beautiful. So that finishes all our questions, but I have some 10 rapid fire questions for you. You can just answer in one word, two word, whatever. Just quick questions just to understand you more better and
Okay.
your perspective towards things. So, what's your favorite way to recharge when you feel low on energy?
Grounding. I just go out in nature.
Lovely. Energy drainer, social media or multitasking?
Social media, when you get stuck into reels and stuff that's not relevant to you.
Absolutely. The biggest emotional challenge most parents face.
That constant feeling of I'm not doing enough. You're doing absolutely perfect. Don't go too harsh on yourself.
Self care in one word.
Mindfulness,
Okay. What emotion do you think drains parents the most? Worry or guilt?
worry, because
Okay.
worry is long term.
Okay. Do you think exercise or healthy food makes people happier? Why?
Absolutely. Whatever you're putting inside of you, you're going to radiate that same energy if you're eating fresh stuff. And energy, exercising is just letting out all of that stagnant energy.
Awesome. If you could manifest one thing for your family, what would it be?
Perfect harmony.
How lovely. How sweet.
Everyone is connecting with themselves, and that's a safe space.
How lovely. What one reason you think manifestation rituals might not work? One reason.
Alignment of all of these four aspects.
Okay. What is the first thing you notice when someone is feeling emotionally balanced?
Their energy is very grounding, and when you talk to them, you feel like you're safe.
Okay. What is your go to method for staying calm in chaos?
Mindfulness, again, I just focus on whatever my goal is and empower it with positive energy.
Wow, lovely, lovely, lovely. That ends all our questions, and I can't thank you enough for joining because a 17-year-old Devina can have such an eye-opening session. I have not had such an experience. It is such a memorable experience. I I mean, I can't tell you in words, Devina. I'm so, so proud of you, and you have been so valuable in whatever wisdom you shared over here, and it's going to stay in our hearts forever. And whatever you've told me today, and I promise I'm going to keep it with myself.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you.
No, Devina, I think you are really strong as a human being, as a person, and you soar high. So, people, if you are looking for something related to manifestation, please go ahead, check her page, go to her. I'm going to tag her on both Instagram as well as YouTube because it's going live on both the places. I'm going to tag her. attend her master classes. She takes some amazing classes. Go for a one to one just to understand yourself and understand how things work in your family, in yourself, how to do a manifestation for yourself, and make sure you implement those techniques which we have shared here today to create more balance and harmony in the household. And if you have any questions related to this topic, you really know whom to connect to. That is Devina Rao, and I'm putting her Instagram profile so that you know that this is the place you need to connect. Thank you once again, Devina, for your expertise and for your wisdom. You are truly a blessing in our session today.
Thank you so much for having me here. I just absolutely loved sharing, and just thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Devina. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. It was an amazing session, and there were so many numbers. I'll just name few of you. Thank you, Rakesh, Sparsh, Dipti, Saroj Varesh, uh, Pravalis, Khushbu, Nisha, Mukul Chandani, Shakshi, Kaurtanya, Kirti, Mansi, Neha, Sampada, and many more. Thank you, guys. That's so sweet, all of you, to join in. It certainly means a lot when you're here, and I'm sure you've carried loads of wisdom today. As much as I enjoyed, I'm sure you enjoyed the same. And thank you again, Devina, and thank you, all of you.
Thank you so much for your kind words and
Thank you.
blessings.